Hi, I'm sure you're super excited to find out more about simple strategies and examples that will help you achieve assessment literacy, which means applying concepts of assessment involving learners in assessment throughout the lessons. So one of the strategies we will be looking at will be allowing students to progressively self-assess themselves while thinking through about their learning. And some strategies or tools that you can use to guide students to act upon the feedback that they have gotten in order to close their gap or to improve their learning. Last but not least, have some strategies that will help students to assess their classmates and at the same time give the rest certain good feedback. Without further ado, let's dive right in to look at the simple tools you can use. The first set of tools are tools that involve allowing students to progressively self-assess themselves and thinking through their learning. Another very amazing tool in Google Classroom is the Rubrics function in the assignment function in Google Classroom, and that is this Rubrics. Right? You can actually add on any criteria, any number of criteria with the number of marks, including the definitions of how certain marks can be achieved. Right? And this Rubrics, right, can be very simple. You can have a little bit more details so that the students can actually assess the rubrics directly. Right, so in their panel, their submission, or whether even before submission, they can actually look at all the criteria as stipulated by the rubrics indicated by you. Alright, and they will know, okay, how much would each so-called definition or some criteria be like in terms of the marks given. Okay, so what you can do is that this function can also help students to self-assess. So once they submit, you can ask them to self-assess, right, by indicating what will be their marks in their private comments. Okay, like estimated marks. So if you stipulate them to give themselves self-assessment mark, alright, it will show up in the private comment panel. This is the teacher's panel. Then after that, you can give your marks to them. Next, we'll look at some tools that will help students to be able to add on their feedback in order to close their learning gap or to improve their learning. Another point you can give as an instruction can be after the marks given, they can compare their marks with yours and give themselves a feedback on how to improve or help them address their gaps. You can provide feedback directly on the file itself if you can write on it or add text, and then the student can work on it by giving corrections directly. You can get also students to rewrite their answers or the correction in the Google Classroom question, and subsequently after feedback they can rewrite their answers again. You can also use fun quizzy games or Kahoot. You can download the results to show to the students or get the students to review the answers and go through the frequent wrong answers in class. Next, we'll look at simple tools that will help students assess others and give others feedback. Another fantastic tool is the question function in Google Classroom, where you can actually click this when you are assigning a question to students, where the students can reply to each other. Right? You click on that. Right, and then you save, and the question panel of the student is here on the right. The students can key in an answer and then make it visible, and they can also from the same panel see the other students' answers, okay, by clicking here or by clicking the panel on top. Here they can click a reply or a suggestions or feedback for other students' answer. When they click a comment and enter, here this is the other students panel, and he or she will see the comment from the other students straight away and they can reply back. Here a simple and wonderful way to give students each other feedback.